Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're gonna do waves ahead, and this is a crochet hat and it's fabulous. Now there's a little bit of an issue with this particular one as the yarn has been discontinued. However, we can change out our yarn, but what you need to do, my friends, is to watch your gauge. So simply don't look at this pattern and say, I got some Super Saver in stock, I'm just gonna whip it up with the 5mm size H hook. It's not that simple because you need to follow the gauge, because even though you think it looks the same as Super Saver, it's really not and will react differently. So we have to go through a few things in this pattern, and I am going to be using Caron cotton cakes today with a 4mm size G crochet hook in order to play. I've reduced my hook because I finally found my gauge. So let me show you some samples because this is gonna be my third time making this hat. So gauge is critically important, so I switched off first time and I used my Caron Simply Soft that you see with the 5mm size H hook. This is way too big. I'm not even done the pattern and it's already going down below the eyes. So I need to stop because it's not gonna work. I then switched off to Red Heart here, Heat Wave. Again, it's too big. So what I have to do is I have to really focus on that gauge. Usually I don't check gauge that well, but in this case you can see that it really does matter with this particular stitch. So I end up finding Caron cotton cakes with a 4mm size G crochet hook will work. And so you're looking for that almost like a thinner based yarn like so, and you want to check your gauge. So let's just review what that gauge is and we'll be right back in a second. So the gauge stated 5 rounds equals 4 inches, and to check your gauge and use any size hook to obtain the gauge. So this here is 5 rounds. It's just shy, like just shy of 4 inches, and so I'm gonna trust it and continue along. So when I did the other samples here, when I got to the 5th round, I was already like well past 4 inches, and so that's why it's too big. So you wanna pay attention to that the most. So you may have to run a gauge check in order for you to do it in order to be successful. For the time it takes to do this, I would strongly recommend it in this particular pattern, and there's really some neat concepts within this pattern as well. So we're going to start, and you're gonna choose your size hook that you got your gauge with. So you may have to do the first 5 rounds just to make sure that you get your 4 inches, but I'm recommending that you do that. So you could try Red Heart Super Saver with the 4mm size G crochet hook too, but again, check your gauge. So let's begin our pattern, and it's actually a lot of fun. You are going to need a stitch marker today because it's done in a continuous round as you see, and we're gonna go round and around and around. So today I'm gonna be using Caron cotton cakes called Frosted Pink, and so this will be my lucky story for today. Let's start off with a slip knot. I would consider this an intermediate level. Also the designer Nancy Smith has considered that as well. So we're going to just chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And I want you to slip stitch into the 3rd one away from the hook, which is the first one, and form that center tight ring like that. Let's officially now move on to round number 1. Let's begin round number 1 by chaining 3, which will count as your first double crochet, and then in the center of that tight ring you're going to put in 8 more double crochets. So when you put in the 8 plus that chain 3, you will have a total of 9. I would put that straggler around the center so that you can get it stuck up underneath as well. And so you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I want to just do a double check. So I have to chain 2, so that's 1. Sorry, the chain here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 more for good luck. So I need a total of 9 double crochets. In the first round here we're going to just slip stitch to the top of the chain 3, and then we're going to start continuous rounds after this point. So let's begin round number 2. We're now going to start a raised effect. How to do that is in starting in round number 2 we're gonna chain 2, which will count as your first half double crochet. In the same chain that is underneath where you've attached to, you're going to do a front post double crochet. Now going forward in this tutorial I am going to be giving you the information to do the repeats all the way around. So here is going to be your first repeat. So in the next stitch you will half double crochet, and then around that same post of that stitch you will do a front post double crochet, and you're gonna do that all the way around. So you'll have a total of 18 stitches altogether. So you start with a half and then a front post double in the same post below, and you're gonna do that all the way around for round number 2. Do not slip stitch at the end. I'll meet you there and we'll carry on from that point. When you get all the way around, you are not gonna slip stitch, but I want you to verify that there's actually 18 stitches. That includes that chain 2 that you started with, and this is where I want you to hold. In this case, I want you to get a stitch marker and just a spare piece of yarn will do, and lay it between the gap here, so when you start the 3rd round it'll just get stuck underneath that space, and therefore you'll begin. So let's move on to round number 3. In round number 3 we're going to come and remember that the chain 2 that we started with when we started this is considered a stitch. So when we do number 3 we're going to half double crochet directly into the half double crochet, which is the chain 2 in this case. You're gonna half double crochet into that to start. Then in that chain that you have that's directly below, you're going to also put in a front post double crochet. So each one of these half double crochets are gonna be half double crochet, but you'll add a front post double crochet to it. So then you'll front post double crochet the next one. Okay, and that's one section done. So let's do another section. So you have the half, so add a half first, and then around the same half below you're going to do a front post double, and then you'll front post double the next. The easiest way that I remember it is that there's 1 half and then 2 front post doubles when I go to look at it from a distance. Okay, so half and then put a front post double around that half below it. So this is causing an increase, and then front post double the next. Please do this all the way around for round number 3. Finishing up round number 3, just continuing the pattern as I know it, and this is the last one. So what I want you to do with that stitch marker, now place it through the new space, so when you start the next section it'll get stuck in between. Let's move on to round number 4. In round number 4 we're going to do exactly the same thing. The difference is that there's more front post double crochets to work with. So starting in the first half double crochet, you are going to go in and half double crochet that first, and then put a front post double crochet around that same half double crochet directly below, and there is your new increase. And so then you have 2 front post double crochets left of that section, so you'll make those also front post double crochet in this case. So let's review again. So you'll half double crochet the first one, you'll front post double crochet the same half double crochet below it, and then you'll front post double crochet the remaining 2 of that section. Please do this all the way around for round number 4. So I've now just finished round number 4. So round number 5 we're going to do this round, and then you'll want to do a gauge check to make sure, and you'll have to restart back from number 1 again if it's way too big. So starting in number 5 you're going to half double crochet the first half double crochet that you have. You're going to front post double crochet the next, sorry, with the front post double crochet the same one below it. Sorry, my dog barked. Oh, there she goes again. So then front post double crochet the remaining in that section. So there's a total of 4 front post double crochets in a row that you can physically see. Let's start again. So you're gonna half double crochet the first one, you're gonna front post double crochet the first half below it, and then front post double crochet the remaining. So what I want you to pay attention to the most is that you can see that there's 4 front post double crochets in a row. That's really visible, and that will give you a clue if something's wrong. So go all the way around round number 5 like this, and then we'll do a gauge check when we get back. So I've now just finished the 5th round, so I'll just put the stitch marker aside here. So what I want you to do is lay down a measuring tape and just kind of push it down, and you'll see that it's close to 4 inches. It's just a little shy, but I have done this now pattern a few times, and I know I need to trust myself with this, so I'm going to keep this as is. So if it's over, you're gonna want to be concerned about that. So you want to make sure that you want to stay within 4 or slightly under. Let's continue then into round number 6. So moving to round number 6, I've already moved my stitch marker. I didn't say it in the last time, but I'm now saying it. Okay, so we're going to start, and you're going to half double crochet the first one, and you're going to front post double the same half double crochet below it. So you can see it's a nice easy way to start, and then you're going to front post double crochet the remaining that are across. So in each section it will appear that you have a total of 5 front post double crochets. See, 1 2 3 4 5. So let's start a new section. So you'll half double crochet the next one, and then you'll front post double the half below it, and then add in the other 4 that are there, which gives you a total count of 5 front post double crochets that you can see. So please do this all the way around for round number 6. I'll be right back in just a moment. In round number 7 the story is going to change just slightly. So instead of going into the first half double crochet, you're now going to skip it. So in the second one, so this is the first half, so it's going to be the first front post double crochet that you're going to work with. You're going to put in 2 half double crochets there first. So 1 and 2, and then around the same post, the front post double crochet below, you will make that as a front post double crochet. Do you see that? So then the remaining of the section, just keep those front post double crochets all in line. So you will notice in this pattern is that when there's groups of these front post double crochets, they're always in groups of 5 once you start growing it out to the max, just like you see. So let's do another section. You're going to skip the first one and go to the second, which is a front post double, and you'll make 2 half double crochets there first, and then in the same front post double you'll keep a front post double going, and then you'll do that one plus the 4 others, which still gives you that 5 that you see in each section, 5 front post double crochets that you can physically see and count. Now the difference is that the gapping space that is going to create this spacing is now going to start sinking down because you're adding more of these flat half double crochets in. Please do this all the way around for number 7. So skip the first one, put 2 halves into the first front post double that same one, and then front post double the next 4 in a row. Do this for number 7. In round number 8 we're now going to start expanding this indentation, which is made up of those half double crochets. So when we go to start round number 8, we're going to skip the first half double crochet that comes out, and you're going to half double crochet the next one after that. Then on top of this front post double crochet you'll put in 2 half double crochets, and then to keep the balance you are going to do a front post double crochet around that same one. So in the future you're going to notice that we are going to decrease those front post double crochets, but we're not ready to do that yet. We're only on round number 8. Okay, so let's continue again. So you skip the first one out, half double crochet the next. You'll put 2 half double crochets into the next one, and then in the same post directly below it'll be a front post double, which will then take you through this whole section. So you're going to do the other 4 that are there, and that's what you're going to do for number 8. There's also a gauge check at the end of number 8. We're going to check that gauge one more time, and I'll be right back in a second. I'm at the end of number 8, and Nancy put in the pattern place. The piece should measure about 6 inches. So just taking it down, and you see it's pretty close. So I'm gonna keep on going. I'm trusting in myself. I'm trusting in Nancy. Let's get this thing going. We're gonna do rounds number 9, 10, and 11, 3 rounds, and you will notice that in this particular section here we're now at the maximum amount of stitches per section. So you have 5 front post double crochets and you have 3 half double crochets. So 5 plus 3 equals, yes, that's right, it equals 8. So what we want to do is that you're going to notice is that there's 9 sections of 8. Let's now start round number 9, 10, and 11. I'll show you what to do, and then you can do the other 2 rounds on your own. So let's get you started on rounds number 9, 10, and 11. They're all the same. So we're no longer doing the major expansion before. So we're going to maintain exactly what we see here. So by skipping the first one that we're doing, we're eliminating a stitch, but then we're creating it again when we do this front post double crochets here in the future. So you're going to skip the first half double crochet out, and you're going to half double crochet the next 3 in a row. So 1, 2, and 3. Now it's not written like that in the pattern. I'm just doing that for tutorial sake. So once those 3 are in, then you're gonna come to the front post double that's directly below the third one and make that a front post double. And then you'll front post double the rest. So 3 plus 5 gives you a total of 8, which you know then is correct. So I'll show you one more section. So just start immediately by skipping the first one out, which is right here, and you go to the next one and do 3 half double crochets in a row. So 1, 2 and 3. Then the same third one, do that front post double crochet, do that one plus all of its friends. So then you have all that whole section done and you have another total of 8 in a row. So I want you to do this all the way around now for rounds number 9, 10 and 11, and I'll be back in just a few moments. I'll have all those 3 rounds done and I'll see you there. So move up your stitch markers as you pass and make sure that you check it off on your list. So I just finished off round number 11. So now you'll notice it's starting to bowl in a little bit, which is perfect. And we now need to start number 12. In number 12 we're going to start eliminating the number of front post double crochets and increasing the number of half double crochets, which will give it the texture look. So to start with, you need to skip the first one out and go and half double crochet the next 4 in a row. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. You will notice that the fourth one is sitting over top of the second front post double crochet. We want that. So we're going to put the first 2 together. So you're gonna wrap and do a front post double crochet 2 together using the first one. So pull through 2 and hold, don't finish it, and do the second one the same way. So wrap and in, pull through 2 and hold. Now you're going to wrap and pull through all 3 stitches, and now 2 just became 1. You only have 3 left here, so you're just gonna keep that as a front post double crochet. So 5 front post double crochets became 4 this time, and the half double crochets was increased by 1, but the stitch counts are still the same as far as keeping the number of 8 per section. So let's do one more section. So you skip the first one out and half double crochet the next 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you'll notice that one is sitting above the second front post double crochet. So you'll put the first 2 together as front post double crochets, pull through all 3 loops, so 2 just became 1, and then you'll front post double crochet the remaining that are left. So you'll only have 4 front post double crochets in each of these sections, just like that, and then you have 4 half double crochets, which gives you the total count of 8. Please do this all the way around for number 12. So just now finished round number 12. So you'll see a long note about using split front post double crochet 2 together. It took me a bit to understand what that exactly was, and then I actually figured it out because I read my instructions and I actually clued in, which is a miracle in itself. So let's do round number 13. So we're going to be working with splitting front post double crochets, but that's just a big word for something that's actually pretty simple. So let's begin, and we're going to skip the first one out and do 5 half double crochets. So we're increasing those. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you will notice that the fifth one is ending on the second one in. So there's the 2 that are together, so it's ending right there. So we're going to do a split front post double crochet. To do that, you're going to wrap the hook, and you're gonna go, see how these are 2 are together? Just grab the closest one only. So don't grab both, and then yarn over, pull through, and then pull through 2 and hold, and then grab the next one that's completely empty, pull through 2 and hold, and then just pull through all 3 loops. So the split is just splitting this 2 together and just using the one leg of that. And now you're going to front post double crochet the remaining 2 that are left. So 4 just became 3 in this. So 1, 2, 3. Let's start again. So skipping the first one out, do 5 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then you're going to do a split. So you'll split this first one, just grab the leg that's closest to the stitch, and then do the next one that's completely empty, and then pull through all 3, and then 2 just became 1 again, and then you'll do the remaining 2 posts that are there. So 4 front post double crochets just became 3, and then you have 5 half double crochets, so you have a total count of 8 per section. Please do this all the way around, round number 13. So just finished round number 13, so you can see how these are coming off to the side. Hopefully the camera angle, it's hard to tell with such a bright light, but you need that bright light in order to see what I'm doing as well. So in round number 14, you're going to skip the first one out, and now you're going to half double crochet the next 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the 6th one is over top of this empty, like this single one by itself, so it's just past the split. So now you're gonna do your split, 2 together, and so 2 just became 1, and you only have 1 half double crochet, or sorry, 1 front post double crochet to work with. So 4 just became 3. Oh sorry, 3 just became 2. Okay, so start the next section. We have 6 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then do your split, front post double crochet, and then just do the one on its own, and then that section's done, and then 3 became 2, and that's good. So you have 2 front post double crochets now, and now you have 6 of these, which gives you a total of 8 per section. Please start continue this all the way around for round number 14. So I'm all the way back around number 15. You're going to skip then the first one, and then you'll do 7 in a row. So let's count those out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that it takes you to the end of that section, but you are still going to do your split, front post double crochet, and that is your 8th. Okay, so it's 7, and then put the last 2 together with the split front post double crochet, and that will give you to the section of 8. So let's do that all the way around, round number 15. So round number 16, let's begin. We're still going to be skipping that first half double crochet out, and this time you are doing 7 half double crochets in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 takes you to the top of that 2 together. Do you see that? And then you're going to make that 2 together as a front post double crochet. So you're gonna go around both of the legs underneath. So make that as a front post double crochet so it's on its own. So let's begin another section. So there's gonna be 7 in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 takes you to the top of that front post 2 together, and make that as a front post double crochet as well. So going around both of those pieces, and you'll do that all the way around. So 7 half double crochets and 1 front post double crochet gives you a total of 8. Let's continue then into round number 16, or continue round number 16, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So rounds number 17 and 18, they're both the same. Here's the trick though, we're no longer skipping that first half double crochet like we had been all along. So you're going to go into that first one, and you're doing the first 7 in a row. So that's included that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then this front post double crochet is still a front post double crochet, So you'll do this all the way around. So 7 starting in the very first one, you're no longer skipping, so 7 and a half double crochet and then 1 front post double crochet. You will do this for rounds, this round number 17 and also the next round number 18, and please do both of those rounds and meet me back here in just a moment. So we're now going to move on to round number 19. So we have been decreasing these front post double crochets and increasing the half, but now we're going to start increasing those and putting those back in to create this wave shape. So let's begin round number 19. We're going to start, and we're going to start in the very first one, so you're no longer skipping. So you'll only do 6 this time in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you're skipping over the last half double crochet that's there, and this is a front post double crochet, and you'll make 2 front post double crochets around the same stitch. So then with that 6 half double crochets and those 2, that gives you the total count of 8. Let's start in the next one. So you're no longer skipping, so you just do a total of 6 in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then reaching on over to that front post double crochet and do 2 of those stitches there like that. Please do this all the way around for round number 19. Okay, round number 20, we're going to increase the number of front post double crochets again this time. So starting in the very first one, so you're not skipping, only do 5 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and so you're skipping the next half double crochet going into the first post only of the front post double crochet. Put 2 there and then put 1 front post double crochet in the next. So with the 5 plus these 3, that gives you an 8. So again 5 in a row, skipping the 1 half double crochet just before, put 2 front post double crochets in the first one and then 1 front post double crochet in the next. Round number 21. Starting in the very first one, you're only doing the first 4 in a row. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then you're reaching on over. So you're skipping this half double crochet and you'll put 2 front post double crochets in the first one. So 1 and 2, and then the remaining 2 each has 1 front post double crochet. Okay, so that makes sense. So now you have 4 halves and then 4 front post double crochets. So skip, or sorry, don't skip the first one, so just do the first 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, skip the next half double crochet right there and put 2 front post double crochets in the next, and then the last 2 front post double crochets. Just continue to make those front post double crochets. Please do this all the way around round number 21. Round number 22. You're only going to, starting in the first one, not skipping anything, half double crochet the first 3 and then skip the next half double crochet and start in the first post, put 2 front post double crochets there. Daniel's gone grocery shopping, so the animals go crazy when one of us is missing. So the cat's meowing today. I can't stop her doing that, nor do I want to. Just let her cry it out. So you have 5 front post double crochets there after you put 2 into the first one. So 5 plus the 3 gives you the 8. So starting in the next one, you'll do 3 half double crochets in a row, and then skip the next one and then put 2 front post double crochets in the first one and then 1 front post double crochet in the next. So if I open the door and let the cat in, she'll be all over the table, and therefore the filming will be done. So do this all the way around round number 22. Round number 23. Starting in the first one, you're just going to put 2 half double crochets in a row this time. So 1 and 2, and then what we have is that you're going to reach over, put 2 front post double crochets in the first one, and then the remaining front post double crochets all get something. So you will notice that at this particular moment is that we have our stitch work coming back to what we remember it to be. Okay, so it looks pretty awesome, right? So you got 2 in the first, then you got 5 here, so then you got a total of so now you have a total of 2 half double crochets and then 6 front post double crochets, which gives you the number 8. So starting in the next section you will have 2 in a row half double crochets, reach on over, front post double crochet twice in the first one, and then front post double crochet in each of the next front post double crochets, and then keep doing that all the way around. This is round number 23. Round number 24. So in the first one you're going to just put in 1 half double crochet by itself, and then skipping the next half double crochet and put 2 front post double crochet in the next. And then the rest of those front post double crochets will stay front post double crochets for the remaining of the section. I don't know if you hear that, but the dog's jumping down from the bed. So my studio is right under the bedroom. Okay, so we have the first one. So 1 half double crochet by itself. You're skipping the next half double crochet and then put 2 front post double crochets in the next, and then the remaining front post double crochets stay a front post double crochet. I'll see you at the end of this round. This is round number 24. Round number 25. Let's begin. We're skipping the first half double crochet out, and we're going to apply 2 front post double crochets into the next front post double crochet, and then 1 front post double crochet into each of the next. So just when you get to the next section, the first one has 2 front post double crochets and all the rest are front post double crochets. Just skip that half double crochet, so you're not doing any half double crochets in this round. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 25. Round number 26. Just gonna be 1 front post double crochet around each of the front post double crochets. There's no increasing stitches at all. Just do 1 in each, and I'll see you at the end of this round, number 26. Let's begin round number 27. So it's just 1 front post double crochet around in each, but what I need you to do is that I need you to stop just a few stitches before we get all the way back around. What we need to do is get this thing to go back into a slip stitch formation so that we can have a nice even border when it comes to the ridge of this or the brim. So just continue to front post double crochet into round number 27 and just leave the last few stitches for me and before you finish this round completely, and then we'll customize on how we finish it, and then we'll begin our final round together, number 28. So when you come all the way around on number 27, leave the last 3 empty like this. Now we still have to finish it though. The next one, instead of a front post double, is going to be a front post half double. Then the next one is going to be a front post single crochet, and then the next one, the last one, is just going to be a slip stitch, and then that just brings it back in balance. So now you're going to turn your work, and we're going to begin the wrong side, which is number 28 in just a moment. Really unique finish on how we're going to do this. So we're going to, on the wrong side, you're going to slip down here. So this is technically where we should be playing, but what we have to do is just sink down and grab the top loops of that stitch below. This is round number 26, and then coming in to the top of the last stitch that you were in round number 27. And what this is doing is creating a fold. So then you go down into this one and then collect the next one and single crochet. So in and in, and you're gonna do that all the way around. This is round number 28, and this will create a small little ridge that you see right here. So let's do that, and I'll see you at the end of number 28 in just a moment. When you get all the way around in the hat, just slip stitch to the beginning. Pull nice and tight. So you're going to want to fasten this off with an actual tapestry needle and pull it through. And I want to stay to the back side of this so that this strand is going on the underside of the hat. So the trick is that when you glide it through, just stay on some fibers on the inside of the hat only, so don't go all the way through it. Go once and twice. Each path has to be slightly different so it locks 2 and 3. Now I'm gonna check my cupboard for a pom-pom, see if I have one of those. I want to put a white one on here if I have one, and this is pretty cool. So I'll be right back in just a sec. You can pull out your stitch marker that you've been using, and I'll see you in a second. So I wanted to add a pom-pom to it, so all I just did is that I strung in some yarn that was the same as here. And the option for when people do craft shows is that people don't always like pom-poms. I don't know why, but I love pom-poms myself. But what you want to do is string it through the top of the middle section here, so it's on 2 different strands coming through, and you're gonna pull through. Okay, so then you're gonna want to tie it here. So if you tie it into a bow tie on the inside, people could just undo this bow tie and take it off the hat. So if they love your hat, they hate the pom-pom, they can take off the pom-pom and give it back to you or whatever, or they can just take it off if they don't really like it at all. So just give your pom-pom a really good shake. Just run your hands through it for an inspection. In my case, there's a price tag right there, so let me just take that out. Be very careful when you cut. You don't want to cut those fibers, and that's something that you can think about for yourself. And this is a really cool hat. So this is it for today. We hope that you have a good one, and I'll hope to see you again real soon. Bye bye.